Warning: this video will contain subjects that some may find disturbing. While this program is educational, if you are easily disturbed, you may want to click off this video.
I was John's best editor. The only other editor that was as good as me was Crimson Mayhem.
Rebeccah was my worst editor. She had this constant, almost obsession with pedophiles. Some Loud House episode is about a pedo. Some Pony Life episode is about a pedo. Is this person a pedo? Is that person a pedo? Her favorite word of all time, though, is abuser. She calls anyone that she does not like an abuser. She doesn't need to improve. She's defended me multiple times as not being an abuser. But oh no, when I finally have the gall to fire her, well then I'm just another wayward abuser.
Rebeccah told me that I tend to be too suicidal and accused me of doing it for brownie points or manipulation. The fact that this woman can suggest that I want to kill myself for fucking brownie points is just cruel. And the fact that she brings this up out of nowhere when the conversation was strictly focused on what I said about her and only her makes me assume she's trying to manipulate me.
I kept it together until I read Enter's an abuser and Sarah and Hope are bad people. Now I understand that these people aren't saints, but you can't insult someone like that, especially calling them an abuser. As someone who has been hurt and used a lot, I take that word very seriously. If you're watching this, Rebeccah, I'm not sorry for how I ended things. I warned you. I asked you to stop, and this is what happened. Don't contact me again.
By the logic of reality, I did nothing wrong.
If I do have a problem with a person, I should speak up about it and not stay silent. Okay, Rebeccah, Star Giant Productions, whatever name she goes by, is a toxic person. She's a bad employee and she's an even worse boss. I'm sure now I'm somewhere along the lines of Lily Orchard to her, and I can't wait to start seeing 4 or 5, no seriously, this is the last one, 6, 7 MrEnter is garbage and this is why videos. Maybe in 4 or 5 whatever years, she'll crawl out of this pit her personality sits in, but as long as she keeps blaming everyone else for her own miserable lot, I don't have high hopes for her. I wish you good luck in the future, Rebeccah, because I have a feeling that when everything comes tumbling down, you will have nothing else.
You know, there's an old saying, no one gets more upset than a narcissist being accused of something they definitely did. And Rebeccah Koweski is a case of why that is. For those of you who don't know, Star Giant Productions, a former editor of MrEnter, turned fucking internet lolcow, turned child groomer. Now, MrEnter, for all of his flaws, at least seems somewhat of a decent person. Rebeccah, I can barely even watch fucking Mrs. Alien with a fucking speech impediment. Whatever. She's trying to get through her 3-hour-long video about how she's the victim and we're the abusers.
Right now, I feel like a lost soul. I have no place to go.
Gee, Rebeccah, it's almost like being a toxic piece of crap. Get people to think you're a toxic piece of crap.
Let me say this right now. I am not gonna watch a response video that someone makes on me ever again. I don't care if you think that means that I can't take criticism, because I can and I always will.
And when you were confronted about all of this, and that sooner or later content creators are going to see what you have excused, your response was to dismiss it because they're not as big as MrEnter.
At the time in 2020, 2021, it was the lowest time of my entire life.
I'm talking about in last month of this year, when Fly Dice confronted you and telling you if you do not address this, it's likely that content creators are going to eventually get their idea on it and they're going to sniff it around. And your concern was that they're smaller than Enter, though. I don't think you really recognize that there's a difference between somebody doing a video about you being a bad editor and a terrible friend versus you ignoring a predator, letting them stay in your server because you failed willingly to do your due diligence, and now when you are being called out for it directly by one of the victims, you put them off for months. Do you not understand the difference in severity between those situations?
Nope, I 100% do. And I am an awful person. I really am. It's a new year, and my New Year's resolution is to be less quiet. And I feel like for the past 26 years of my life, people have been telling me to shut the fuck up. And the past 26 years have been of me proving people wrong.
Gee, I wonder why that is. Maybe because people are done with your fucking bullshit. God forbid people contact that with Rebeccah. Because if they do that, then they're automatically abusers to her. Don't believe me? Here's her ban list. Yes, this is Rebeccah's quote-unquote ban list for people being pedophiles. Even though she has people like Schaefer Productions on the list who isn't even a pedophile. Also, it makes sense that John's on this list too. And he has the most names out of everyone on this list. You know who's also on this list? Pan, the artist who was accused of pedophilia, and people told Rebeccah to kick her off the server, but she fucking refused. And then 8 months later, when she finally kicks her off the fucking server, it's just for inactivity. Really. Funny how she considers her a pedophile now, instead of before people calling her out on it.
This is what Rebeccah means when she said we continually tried to ignore her, because she continually broke flow to continually interrupt people about conversations that were constantly dead.
I didn't continually break these conversations constantly. Stop lying about me, John.
It's just another example of her completely misunderstanding MrEnter's points on her. Also, Rebeccah's a narcissist. She is a chronic narcissist.
While all of this was going on, she was losing literally the only trait that I hired her for. Her editing speed. She made people uncomfortable. I don't want to turn this into a segment ranting about Rebeccah. I made a whole video about the Rebeccah situation, which I will link in the description. I have been truly blessed that most of the people who have worked for me have had a good deal of competence. Artists, editors, and more. Because if they were all on the level of this, we'd be living in a far worse world now, wouldn't we?
Don't do this. I am not egotistic. I am not toxic or abusive. I have never been toxic or abusive, and I never will be toxic or abusive. I am not a bad boss. I am a great boss. I will stand by these statements forever.
I think we need to take a break. Rebeccah calling everyone an abuser and a pedophile seems like projection. Because not only does she protect pedophiles, not only does she defend pedophiles, but she herself is a pedophile. Or at the very least, a groomer. Levelina was, at the time, 17 when she met Rebeccah. At least, from my understanding. So as soon as she turned 18, Rebeccah, at 24 fucking years old, planned on moving in with her as soon as she wasn't a minor. So yeah, Rebeccah's a pedophile, and MrEnter has proven it in his second video on Rebeccah. Honestly, 5 years in prison just isn't enough. Maybe 10 years, maybe even fucking 20. Would be enough time for Rebeccah to finally face the fucking shit that she has done. At first I felt sorry for her. Back in 2020, I felt a little sorry for her, because I actually thought that she was being abused. But the more I learned about Rebeccah, the more I felt ashamed of ever being so. Rebeccah is not the type of person that deserves my sympathy. It's not the kind of person that deserves anyone else's sympathy. She has abused her career. She's abused her friends. She abuses anything and everything that moves. Thank God there are some people that got out of her circle. Like Matti. Matti is a great artist. And he does seem like a pleasant guy. I even messaged him sometimes on Instagram. You should definitely go and subscribe to his channel. Just please make sure that if he is commissioning you, please pay and credit him. Because Rebeccah just does not do that. Either she doesn't have the money to do it, or that she just chooses not to do it. I mean, I could see if maybe they didn't want or expect to be paid. For example, Tin, the artist who drew my avatar, background, and channel banner, she never really expected or wanted to be paid. She just did it because she wanted to help out my channel. But to quote MrEnter, if you can't pay people to do your work, you might have to do that work yourself. Also, Rebeccah had her friends make 5 testimonies against MrEnter. Some of them talk about how they were horribly and horrifically abused.
Hi, I'm Chelsey. I don't know if you are watching this, but if you have been abused or are still being abused, just know that you are not alone and that you deserve to be around people who love and care about you. You don't deserve anything that happened or is still happening to you. You are loved and cared about.
As someone who has been abused for a good chunk of my life, this is disgusting. Rebeccah, these are your friends, who you call friends, and you use them, their trauma, just to get back at MrEnter. You're a scumbag. A fucking scumbag. Honestly, I'm just sick of this person. This person just tires me. The sooner MrEnter puts her to jail, the better. Because honestly, I'm sick of her bullshit, Enter's sick of her bullshit, and I'm sure many others are sick of her bullshit. Rebeccah, I don't know you in real life. I don't want to know you in real life. But I do know this. You've hurt many people who came into your circle. You are the scumbag. You are the pedophile. You are the abuser. And the sooner you realize that, the better. Well, it looks like you made it to the end of the video. Now, I don't want to make my channel just about ranting about how Rebeccah is bad and the people she hires are bad. Which they are, but I don't want to make my channel just about that. I want to make my channel about cartoon reviews. I don't want to make my channel just about Rebeccah. I don't know if this will be my last video on Rebeccah, but honestly, I hope it is. Because honestly, I'm just fucking sick of her. I'm pretty sure that many of us are too. So like I said, the sooner John puts her in jail, the better. But anyway, thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.